Guys, welcome to the channel. Damn, it's been some time since I've actually made a Yu-Gi-Oh video, which is kind of surprising. I mean, yes, I am a Yu-Gi-Oh addict at heart. But I don't know. These last recent weeks of Yu-Gi-Oh have just felt. I mean, and I'm talking about before the ban list, have just been in a bad combination of a bad. I don't want to say it's not been the worst meta. I think Snake Eyes meta was better, but just having access to just this Stampede gave me like an epiphany in the sense that full loose needed to be reprinted that bad in a set like Stampede where it came of all rarities. Otherwise, Yu-Gi-Oh was gonna be doomed, right? I realized that slower because I didn't own like a copy of Folos, and I wasn't ever gonna buy it, being at the price it was. So I was just gonna tough it out. But the reality is, you can't actually like compete in a competitive scene unless you're playing like a specific deck that doesn't actually use Folos at all, not even side deck. But you can't go into like a high competitive event or scenario or scene while actually running that card. So like these last few weeks and months of Yu-Gi-Oh have been really rough. I mean, for me personally, I think for a lot of people, it's just really the same thing. Stampede really has helped. Like the Fiends shit stuff had to be reprint. Folos needed to be reprint, and it's mind you still a $20 card, which to me is insane. Like if you're having a card that comes out in all rarities, not even like remotely hard to pull for what it's worth, or how the availability is to access it. It's still like super expensive, but it's like I said, it's like demand of the card just makes it go that high, right? Like that's how much like imagine people don't want Fiendsmith, that Folos is like 4 times the price of Fiendsmith. That's what I'm trying to say. That's how much people understand that Folos is needed. But yeah, I'm gonna get right to it because I could finally actually just give you a deck list with Folos, which in the deck list, which I planned to do before. I just didn't run Folos. So yeah, but it just before saying this video saying this in a future video with hindsight, this list is only gonna last like 2 weeks. So if you're gonna go ahead and play White Forest in the next few weeks before Alliance Insight comes out, because this deck is gonna change drastically, by the way. Like especially since Snake Eyes, Ash and Poplar got popped to 2. Like who knows is the best iteration of this deck uses Snake Eyes, just because okay, we don't have original Sinful Foils, but we do have 2 Ash, which actually goes hard with the new stuff. So we'll see. Let's see how much this deck changes. But the version I'm running on this is just like pure Fiendsmith. This is a 50 card deck, by the way. You're just gonna see the deck choices that I made. I'm just gonna get onto it. So till 3 Sylvie. Okay, and I'm gonna say something. My friend was right. Why did they print this? Not print Super, but Rusia they print Super. For the life of me, I don't know. So we're still playing 4 of these. I wish you could play this card at more than one, but I don't know. Like this card's really good. It's just as good as Rusia. Like drawing 1 card is not as crazy as obviously searching, but I don't know. It's one of those cards that you feel like drawing is decent, even as an extender. The best card in the deck, which is LZ, because she just does everything. Actually, no, I'm wrong. The best card in the deck, but it's like the worst card to get hand trapped in is Stellar, and I'm playing 2 of because Willard, I'm playing 3 Diabell Star. So it's really easy to get this into the graveyard, which is the most important part of about this. Because you just want to revive it in between the combos, so you can just like full combo them, or but still, this is like your best normal summon if uninterrupted, right? So I'm playing 2 of them, and it's just to see the names more. I'm gonna be completely honest. Like you just want like more 1 card combo, full combos. So I'm just playing like 5 of them, just a ratio thing since I'm playing 50 cards. I just didn't want to cut hand traps. It's the thing. 2 LZ Azamina. Yeah, this card is still good too. You don't want to play 1 because it's still good to draw. Like these cards, like and the same as Rusia, these cards are just good to draw with other combination of cards because it just get you there if you get hand trapped, right? Especially this because it gets you the negate. So yeah, and 3-tap Elstar, as I was saying, this card is just one of the most insane cards. Because your opponent, it just fetches you so many options in your deck, right? So it's, like no matter what you draw, the combination of cards, like this just gets you into another form of extending or another form of interruptions, depending on the deck you're playing. Like it's too versatile, and it doesn't add. It sets like it jumps into like it bypasses Ash, and it helps you play into Droll more because you can just like go ahead and search the Sinful Trap, which there's a reason why I don't run the Azamina Trap, and that's one of the reasons. Because Droll is going to be much more prevalent in this meta because it just cooks your deck more, cooks decks more. 3 Engraver, I don't know exactly about playing 3 of this, but it's just the best card, one of the best cards to break boards. I just decided to play 3 of it, especially since I won't do it justice if the card didn't get touched, right? It makes complete sense. Like Engraver didn't get touched, me playing it at 2 would be like illegal, right? So 1 Lacrima and 1 Luri. I've seen a lot of people opt to play the token, which I understand, but the problem is there's a reason why the token card isn't played and tracked is because Luri in the graveyard just means you're set up for a full combo. And if you, okay, I'm gonna explain a little bit. When you cycle in between your fiends, Luri is gonna be that card that helps you put an extra fiend so you can keep playing. So it's that important to the grind. Like Luri is that important to put it into the graveyard. So because it lets you keep engraver in the graveyard, and then you just put your opponent in a really bad situation. So you can just like in between the combo shuffle back Luri and then just keep Lacrima or engraver in the graveyard depending on what you want to do. So I don't know. I think that's just right. Is it a bad normal summon? Yes. But like, is it really the worst normal summon if you're if you're going to Fiendsmith combo? I don't know, man. That's a little bit contradictory. 3 Ash, yeah. A lot of people have been playing to opt, like not playing Ash, crazy. But this is Banlist mode, right? So this obviously is post April 7th Banlist. 3 Nibiru, which is basically Exodia now, and 3 Full Rose and Famous, right? So this is like just the best hand traps going second, right? Yeah, and I'm playing Droll and Veiler. I do play Nobleman of Crossout, obviously, right? Because in this deck is a little bit better. Not a little bit better, even better than most decks, because you can actually like recycle Crossout. So you can go like Crossout, for example, Fools, and then Crossout, take it back, and then, for example, if your opponent draws talents, you can cross out their talents, for example. So it's like having these targets for your own crossout, and of course these are just better standalone cards. But the problem is, these cards end up like cooking you for the most part. Like this card is extremely good against your deck, and like multiple copies of Impermanence / Veiler will absolutely destroy you. Especially since Veiler isn't once per turn, so it's like, yeah, like Nobleman cards like these are just much more impactful than Nobling like an Ash. It's just obviously once per turn. So yeah, it's like talking about Witch and Permanence to round out the hand traps. Of course, this one's much better because it's spell trap. It just goes along with the synergy of your deck. But anyways, continuing. 3 Wanted, 1 Deception, 1 Hollowed, 1 Sinful Spoilers. We're still playing this. I think it's just it's not as crazy into the best decks like Chimera in general. It's just better against anything that's not Resil or Malice, I guess, if you want to put it in that way. Yeah, it's just harder to resolve when your opponent's hand trapping you. Is what I'm trying to say. Like that's why it's not as crazy when you're playing against like a really fucking good deck that's running like hand traps and engine. This card's just harder to resolve. That's why Morrigan is so good, because Morrigan standalone is like crazy. Morrigan, when you have like your engine going with Morrigan and you're like recycling your stuff, it's like, by the way, this meta is just gonna be complete like whichever deck grinds more, and this deck does grind, but it does still have that power level indented in it. One tracked. Yeah, I don't want to run more than that one, more than one tracked, because you're actually not playing that game. Like the Fiendsmith engine, yes, is fucking good, but most of it is just you want to just go into closed moon to actually enter your Fiendsmith shit. So yeah, one chicken game. This was my I was running 48 cards when I rounded up the deck to make it, and this was one of the cards that a lot of people were just playing in the soldier version because this is, of course, this card draws you a card, and yeah, it's like fodder for your Diabell Star shit and fodder for LZ. It's just side deck spot, right? Because a lot of the cards in your side your ender you don't want to side deck out of. So yeah, it's just a good generic card to play. It just has a lot of synergy with your deck. And then cross out, call by the grave, talents. Because yeah, this is basically OCG vibes. But I'm duplicating 2 thrust along with a talent. Just substitute it, right? Because you were always just playing 3 talents here and 3 cross out, but obviously you can't substitute that. I was running 2, but when I was playing the deck, like 3 of these and 3 of these, like when you draw into your hands, you wish you had a lot of these copies of these, copies of these cards, but you can't, right? Obviously. So I just decided to play 2 of these to like substitute at least talents, because at least when you're breaking a board, you're going to draw into talents more, right? Obviously, because these search you talents, and of course this is not as crazy going first, but it can still search you the Book of Eclipse if they hand trap you on a Sylvie, for example, which isn't that bad. It's like it's okay, decent. And decent is like quite good enough, of course, because if you can't play the better card, you play the substitute of it. And for the rest of the traps, just woes. I don't know why people are cutting that card. This card is absolutely insane, bro. Especially when you go like, because this is what the meta is. You just go like 2 bodies into whatever, and then when you obviously Book of Eclipse them, they're put in a situation where they just have to dump 2 whole new bodies into the board to actually commit, right? So if you have like more interruptions, like you're just like 2 ahead of winning, resolving this card first, and then Morgan, which is just too easy to activate. And this card, it sets itself by the requirement just you having I think it's a illusion monster. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so it's just illusion. You can only set it with illusion, but this is not like the other cards where you set it when it's sent to the graveyard, right? This is the only one Diabell Star resets, right? And that's obviously good. But the Azamina card is not that it's easier, it's not that it's harder to resolve, is that most often than not you're only gonna get one that's bounced in like realistic games. But not only that, if you're only offering 1 bounce into your opponent's boards, but you're better off just book a mooning the cards. Of course, with the introduction of some of the new decks, like the Anubis one, I forgot what the name of that deck is called. Obviously, the Azamina trap is better because it just bounces their back row back into their hand. You can just kill them next turn. But for all intents and purposes, like this is just as good. Yeah. And last but not least, 1 black gold's laugh. It just felt weird not playing the 2 talents already and not putting this into your deck. I am not a big fan of this. It's because yes, it's a fucking crazy card going second. Even going pitching it for going first, because you can just like call cards you'll just lose against, but you won't lose against obviously because you call them. Like if you're gonna lose into Nibiru, or you're gonna lose into to Droll, like you can just call those cards out because you can just like. That's why I said some people were doing it, because they were just gonna like they'll go like Diabell Star, Plitch, Black Gold's Laugh. They'll call Droll, for example, and then yeah, basically you only lose to like 2 cards in the game, right? So unless your opponent is on board breakers, you're basically just cooked. So yeah, that's the main deck. Like as I said, it was 50 cards. So let's just go into the side deck, because I think this is a little bit more agreeable with what everybody's doing. I'm playing 3 strike. I just wanted a good going first card that is low commitment. And I think this is one of the best cards, right? Obviously, because it just gets rid of the problems. Especially, like, I guess, like I said before, if it's like a two bodies make a card meta, especially with Fiendsmith, just getting rid of the problem altogether is just way better. So strike. Then I'm running third talent, and I run with the third talent. I'm running dimensional barrier for Ryzeal, obviously, and Esk decks, and then one dimensional, different dimension ground for things like Memento, things they just auto lose to this. Oh no! Shout out to the guy who won the YCS because he knew, like, this is when Shifter was at 3, but he knew cards like this. He had like strategies to play against it. But so this card's just really good against those type of decks, and then just Harpies. Cause like I said, the weird Anubis deck, the one that sets a lot. So just decks just set a lot. Labyrinth is in the meta back again because they just realized that deck is too good. So it would be illegal if you don't play that card. I played the Bestials because, yeah, everybody's on Fiendsmith. And this is one of the cards that hurts Ryzeal now, like, much more because Detonator isn't one. So if you just, like, hit him with a really good Bestial, it, like, hurts way too much. And then the two other Droll. I forgot if this was the best card to go in second that just destroys too many decks. Like, especially since I don't want to say the best iteration of Ryzeal is Mr. Rugi, but it kind of feels like it. But even if it's Fiendsmith, you still got this. And even if it's not, like, this card just goes way too hard. Because remember, since all the other cards got semi limited, they have to, like, find a way to search their follow-up, if that makes sense. So if you, like, stop them from searching, you're, like, way too ahead. And last but not least, we gotta respect Malice, right? Because I think Malice is still the best deck this format. That hit was not enough, especially since in Alliance Insight they get the new cards. Yeah, basically the just to talk a little bit about the ban list. That ban list was not to kill those decks. It was basically to not have them over dominate, knowing they were gonna get more cards, right? So yeah. So yeah, let's go to the extra deck. For the Azamina stuff, it's just one Silva, one Murcielago. I'm not doing the whole package. Listen, guys, I get it. It's cute. Like, I get it. When you resolve it, it feels nice. But again, if you're playing against the best decks, you can't just play like most of your cards are resolving like that. So I just said it to play cards like Duke of the Mines, for example. If my Estella gets an Valor, for example, and I have a Sylvie in my hand, and I manage to get into a Fiendsmith combo, I could just, like, go Duke into the Duke of the Demise and then just normal summon my Sylvie and just go into Chaos Hunter while, like, full comboing still. So it's like, this card's just really good, and it recycles Fiendsmith back into your hand. Not only that, that card that Duke of the Mice puts in your hand goes absolutely nuts when you're going to play in your opponent's turn with the Chimera line. So it's like, this card's extremely good. Then one Desiree and one Chimera, talking about which. Yeah. It's for the fusions. Then one Requiem, one Sequence, one Agmande. Yeah, there's not really much to say about this. Agmande is still needed because it's like, it's not that it struggles to kill your opponent, but it's one of the best ways to do it. When they have a board, it's like, that'll cheat you out so many wins in one Closed Heaven. And then for the other generic, not really generic, but Abacoa just for the end board, and Little Knight for SP. Damn, it actually felt really bad calling her Little Knight. SP. This card would be Zeus, or yeah, it would be Zeus or this. I just found myself in more situations where this is more needed, especially since Detonators in one, and bouncing it back is not going to be. I mean, of course, Of course, asterisk. If it's going to help you break their board, of course you have to go into those. But just getting rid of the problem is much better, right? Especially if you're balancing detonator bags to the extra deck. And then just the Diabels, not the Diabel, the White Forest Synchros, and one Chaos Angel to round out the Synchros. So yeah, I don't want to put more Synchros. These are just enough, bro. Like, if you want to level 8, you're always just gonna go into this because there's always gonna be a spell trap you can recycle back over that will have like a very, very impactful effect, especially since you want to trigger your Stellar be reborn back. There's like very little things that trigger, especially when you do activate this. So you're just always gonna level 8. Like, what I'm trying to say is, like, you're never gonna go into other synchros except these ones, except when the new stuff comes out. Especially, what I mean. Also, shout out to my cousin Alfredo for giving me these sick YCS sleeves, bro. I didn't understand why these sleeves actually cost an arm and a leg, but I don't know, man. Something about your sleeves saying Yu-Gi-Oh! Officially, right? Hit a little different. But yeah, guys. Thank you for watching the video. I'll give you guys a deck list as soon as the new shit comes out. It's good to always have like the perspective of a lot of deck lists. This is why I do these deck lists and upload them, because usually like small deck choices like that chicken game just end up being like part of the recipe of the winning deck list when they go into YCS. Is like, whoa, this build is really good. When you put a lot of decks in like this into the vacuum, like, it actually helps a lot. Shout out to the Yu-Gi-Oh community for always being the fucking best, bro. You always have something positive to say about the videos and comment the shit you don't like or not about the deck. Just a lot of good, how do I say, like, feedback. So yeah, I'm gonna be coming back with I actually want to do that deck, not only make that deck, but actually like try it out at locals, like actually test it out, which is Dragon Link with having the babies at 2 again, which will actually feel like super nice. That's one of the best cards in the deck. So yeah, guys, again, thank you for watching. If you're a new watcher, please like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and yeah, guys, keep having a nice week. Love you guys, and peace.